Hello, I'm Alexander, and today we'll take a look at the new budget IEM from SIMGOT called EA500. The sample for this review was kindly provided by Linsol, thank you. As always, I'm not paid to say anything in particular about the product, and all thoughts and opinions in today's episode are my own. EA500 features a 10mm dual cavity dynamic driver with a 4th generation DLC composite diaphragm, interchangeable nozzles or filters that provide you with 2 different target curves, metal shells and a detachable cable. The headphones come in a beautiful carton box. On the front of the box there is a branding, and on the back of the box there is a list of technical specifications along with 2 frequency response graphs. In the box we have SIMGOT EA500 IEMs, detachable 0.78mm 2-pin cable, 2 pairs of tuning filters, one of which comes pre-installed, 4 sets of black and red replaceable filter O-rings, 3 pairs of silicone ear tips, carrying case and the user manual. Impedance of the IEM is 16 ohms, sensitivity is 123 dB. Now let's talk about design and build. The shells are silver and shiny. They are made out of metal and have an oval shape. They are polished and have a delicate surface with a glossy finish with the SIMGOT logo placed on the faceplate. Due to their nature, the shells are fingerprint magnets. There is a clear channel marking on the inside part of the shell, along with a gold-plated Torx screw. IEMs have 2 vent holes on the inside, one near the nozzle and the other one close to the edge of the shell, and the second vent hole is covered with a mesh. The nozzles are metal too, they are 5mm in diameter and have average length. There is a metal mesh at the end of each nozzle and a small lip that helps with ear tips retainment. The nozzles are actually an interchangeable tuning filters, and there are 2 sets included, the red ones and the black ones. Both filters have different impact on the sound, and we will discuss it later in this review. Overall, the build quality is good and the glossy finish looks great. Now a couple of words about fit and comfort. The EA500 shells are made from metal, they are polished and there are no sharp edges here. They are medium in size, have ergonomic shape, but overall the fit of this IEM is still kind of shallow. I have big ears, and personally for myself finding a good seal and fit with stock ear tips was a bit challenging. I've been using this pair for extended periods of time and they are quite comfortable, but due to a slightly shallow fit for some reason, the IEMs were irritating my ears after a couple of hours. The cable that comes with this IEM is 1.2 meters long and it's wrapped in the white plastic sheath. It has an angled 3.5mm connector on one end and 0.78mm 2-pin connectors on the other ends. The connectors have tiny blue and red dots to indicate the channels. The cable has a plastic splitter, soft pre-molded ear hooks and a plastic chin slider. Overall the cable is good, it's soft, low in microphonics and it works just fine. Now let's talk about the sound. Please note that all sound impressions that I'm sharing on my channel are completely subjective, so please take them with a grain of salt. At 16 ohms of impedance and 123 dB of sensitivity, this IEM is fairly easy to drive, and I had no issues driving it from my Samsung Galaxy S10. The IEM comes with 2 interchangeable nozzles or filters. I switched between the filters many times, the difference is subtle, but it's there. The red filters that came pre-installed on my pair tune this IEM close to the 216 Harman in-ear target curve, while the black ones, according to manufacturer, tune this IEM close to the SIMGOT in-house target. In simple words, the black filter makes the upper mid-range more pronounced, as well as there's additional air and energy in the treble, hence making the overall sound presentation a bit more detailed and analytical. In the end, I preferred the tuning with the red filters, and all my tests and comparisons were made using the red filters. The bass on this pair is surprisingly good for a pair of budget IEMs. Sub-bass has got a good extension, authority and rumble, while the mid-bass offers a solid punch and they perfectly complement each other. Bass details are also good, the speed is moderate, but overall the bass is well controlled and quite resolving for a pair of budget IEMs. The mid-range on EA500 is quite forward and engaging. As there's a minimal bass bleed into mids, the mid-range is clean and articulate. Vocals and instruments are up front, have a good note weight, and there's enough body and warmth. Lower mids don't sound too thin, which is great, and upper mids are more energetic and pronounced in comparison with lower mids. This is the reason with some recordings upper mids can be a little bit harsh, and this can be a deal breaker for some people. Also, when I changed the filters to black ones, the upper mids became too forward and shiny for my personal preference, but I guess some people will like it. The treble on this IEM is sparkly, energetic, slightly bright yet detailed and airy. On the downside, it can be slightly artificial and grainy, especially with the black filters. Still, I wouldn't call it sibilant and harsh, but it's got a nice amount of sparkle and energy that will definitely make treble-sensitive people a bit nervous. At the same time, due to such treble extension, the details and micro details are surprisingly good for a pair of budget IEMs, and the treble perfectly complements the overall tuning of this IEM. Soundstage width and depth is above average, and EA500 offers a surprisingly spacious presentation. The imaging is great, offering a good sense of distance, and the resolution and instrument separation are also excellent for a pair of budget IEMs. EA500 impressed me in this department, and technically it's a very capable pair of budget IEMs with a great resolution and excellent detail retrieval. I also compared EA500 with Teen Hi-Fi's T3 Plus, Dunu Titan S and Moondrop Aria, all of which are well-known sub-$100 IEMs. Compared to T3 Plus, EA500 has less bass, but it's more linear. The lower mid-range is quite close to each other, with EA500 having just a bit more definition in upper mids. Treble-wise, EA500 has a more coherent treble, it's a bit softer, but has more air and sparkle. Compared to Dunu Titan S, EA500 has a better sub-bass extension, as the bass on Titan S tends to roll off starting at around 50 Hz. Lower mids are more forward on EA500, and to me it sounds more natural, though Titan S also has a more pronounced upper mids. Treble-wise, I'd give a slight edge to Titan S for being a better at details and micro details retrieval. Compared to Moondrop Aria, EA500 has much less bass. It's still more linear compared to Aria, but the bass quantity-wise I'd give it to Aria. Lower mids are similar on both pairs, as both were tuned to follow Harman in-ear targets, but the upper mids in my opinion are better on Aria. Treble-wise, I'm enjoying it more on EA500, as to me it sounds more open and airy. Overall, all four IEMs are direct competitors, and you should choose one over another, mainly based on your own sound preference and fit, as build, packaging and accessories are almost on par. Let's summarize. In my opinion, EA500 is a solid performer. It has an organic, lively and engaging sound signature, good bass extension, sparkly treble and good technical abilities for its price. Taking into consideration the fierce competition in the sub-$100 bracket, I think SIMGOT really made a great IEM to compete in this price range. Pros: good design and build, interchangeable nozzles or filters, engaging and lively tonality, good sub-bass extension, sparkly and airy treble, great technical abilities for the price, and a good stock cable. Cons: slightly shallow fit can be a deal breaker for some people, mid-range can be too forward for some listeners, and the treble can sound grainy on occasions, especially with the black filters. Overall, I think SIMGOT did a good job with EA500, and I can easily recommend it to those who are looking for an engaging and lively budget IEMs that are slightly leaning towards bright and analytical sound signature. Alright guys, that's all from me for today, and I hope that you enjoyed this review. If you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing to my channel and click the bell icon to receive new video updates. See you in the next episode. Goodbye.